Hello, everyone. We're back with another episode of LMScast. I'm Joshua Millage. I'm joined today with Christopher Badgett. And before we jump into today's episode, I wanted to tell you that you can always find show notes and other awesome things at lmscast.com. Also, if you haven't already, I would encourage you to go there and sign up on our email newsletter so that you can be notified when we have cool events as well as when new episodes come available. So, today is all about blended learning, and I want to kick it off by going to our subject matter expert here, Chris, and asking you, Chris, what is blended learning what's the term mean? Because it's a new term to me. And then the follow-up question to that is, and how does that apply to online education?
Absolutely. Well, I think blended learning is one of those terms that means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. And I'm still learning too of all the different aspects of that. When we get into the e-learning or online education space, there's a lot of buzzwords like blended learning or flipped classroom, or instructional design, and all of these things that, everybody has their own definition. But for the purposes here, I like to look at blended learning in terms of some educational content and ways of teaching and learning online outside of just passively dumping videos, text, and audio in front of people without engagement and stuff like that. So how to blend the learning styles and the mediums and the learning opportunities beyond just passive top-down education.
Right. So an example could be a Google Hangout. Would that fit into the line of what you consider blended learning?
Absolutely. So it's I think events are a huge part of blended learning, or blending what's possible in an online education format. So that could be an online event like with a Google Hangout, or it could be an in-person event that happens daily, monthly, once a year, once every 4 years, whatever it is, that is a part of that learning journey for that course or that program. So online and offline events can be a really important part of education.
Yeah, I agree. And it's interesting when you switch it up, because the human connection can be automated to some degree, but it doesn't replace the fact that when you can get someone on a webinar even, or a Skype chat like this, it does help create an even deeper human connection. And in an online class setting, I don't think there's anything that can truly replace that. So it's really important. You mentioned different types of blended learning. What are at a high level, what are the different types or categories of blended learning?
Josh?
I'm back.
I don't know if that was mine or yours.
Just jump right into where we were with the different types of blended learning.
Okay. So there's there's a lot of types of learning that can be blended together for online education. So that could be multimedia. It could be the type of quizzes or assignments that you give your students. It could involve social interaction between students and the teacher, or just among students themselves. Just basically, when you're trying to teach something and somebody's trying to learn something, there's so many different ways to get to the end result besides just telling somebody what to do step by step and going through a rote memorization process. So when I look at lifterLMS as an online learning solution for people with WordPress sites, I start thinking about other powerful tools that are readily available, like the Google Hangout, where we're currently building out integrations with Google so that you can bring in that Hangout experience or that schedule or that calendar of events and integrate that easily into your learning management system. And the same would be true for just like an event that's within your course or your membership. So you may have all this online training, and then once a year there's some big event somewhere in the world where all these people come together around this topic or this skill set to further their learning experience and become even stronger within that learning community.
I like that. So you're actually talking about everyone flying somewhere, meeting up, getting in person, and having an event that way. That's
Absolutely.
cool. And that's really something we want to do too with lifterLMS. We're talking about Lifter Live, which the details will come out sometime early next year. And we're going to get everyone in a room, hopefully up there in Montana, and build courses together and talk about, how we can do better online education, really. I mean, from a business standpoint, marketing standpoint, course design, we're going to have speakers come in. It's going to be a lot of fun. And that is our own way of building out what we believe is blended learning in the architectural infrastructure side of the LMS space. But, I think even we have people who help others, learn how to quilt, and having a quilting conference, or Infusionsoft, where I have a long track record of creating content and meeting people and working in. They do Icon every year, which I think is arguably one of the best events of the entire year, even if you didn't own Infusionsoft. And that creates a lot of cool blended learning, because all the content they send out a year, they have sessions there, and it really solidifies things, because you kind of get to ask all the questions that you had all year in one setting and get them all taken out. It's really fun. So,
and if I may give like another example that's less extreme in the sense of like one big event a year.
Yeah.
For some people, blended learning just means it's a daily thing where you have your class time. If you're a traditional teacher, teaching in a more traditional in-person way at whatever level, or traditional or non-traditional course, but you're just like physically teaching a room full of students, you may have that quote live event every day or 5 days a week or whatever.
Right.
But then you're blending in the online supplemental materials and, assignments and community and things that you can do in the online space. So that's another way to look at blended learning, just as part of the day-to-day of your learning program.
Yeah. Well, I think it's important. I mean, everyone learns differently. Audio, visual, kinesthetic, they're all should be taken into account. And I think the kinesthetic people benefit a lot from the blended learning and the interaction. That motion really helps them pay attention. I can say that because I'm one of them. I have to stay. That's why I stand up, and I'm on a stand-up desk right now. I'm moving around because it's just how I am. So this is awesome, Chris. I mean, it's an episode where I think people should start to create ideas around what this could look like for them. I would really be excited to hear in the comments on LMScast.com, on the comments below this post, if people could share different ways that they're going to utilize blended learning in their courses, and then maybe we can showcase them in a later episode, because I think there's so many unique ways to do this. It would be great to showcase what other people are doing and really distribute that information to others to inspire and help us all create better online education.
Absolutely. And just at the high macro level, another thing I wanted to bring up is just the social part of learning. And if you're using lifterLMS, for example, if you have a course or a lesson and all of a sudden the teachers and the students start commenting, you're creating what's known as like digital culture. And then, like the live event, like the Icon Infusionsoft event you mentioned, that's like a cultural get-together around this product Infusionsoft, but it's in person. It's like bumping shoulders with people. So it's like, it's not like non-digital culture. That's just like live culture, like a subgroup of that culture. And I think it's really important when you approach your WordPress learning management system, your e-learning platform, is to get outside the thinking of the either or mentality. Like I teach in real life or in person, and then I'm an online educator, and digital culture is my thing. But the most powerful things for the future that I see have to do with combining and merging those two, to be rubbing shoulders and rubbing pixels together at the same time to really flesh out that learning experience in both mediums.
Yeah, well, and we're creating the tools to do it, and the community that will help us get there. So it's a different world, and we're on the cusp of this dramatic change that's going to happen. I mean, our kids are not going to learn the same way we did, and so we need to be ready for that. Cool. Absolutely. Well, let's cap this episode off. Keep it short and to the point for everyone so they can get out there and start creating bigger and badder courses. And we'd love to hear from you. So go to our website, LMScast.com, leave us a comment, and make sure to sign up with your email so that we can notify you of some of the cool things that are coming down the pipeline. So hope you're having a great day, and we'll talk to you next week.